How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this story that has gone viral all over the internet. So I'm sure most of you have seen it. But before we even get into it, before I show you the pictures and the details and whatnot, the headline right over my shoulder reads, "A college student trolled people into giving her money by making up a sob story about being a Trump supporter." Now, this is not really anything new. I've seen this before. People pretending to be something else other than what they are online. You got a whole show about that called Catfish, but that's a whole different story, and I digress. The whole point here is that this has gone viral. Half of the story, however, is fake. The first part is true. From the headline, a college student did lie about being a Trump supporter to get some money from people online, but there was a reported sum of about 150 grand. She did not get that much. The money that she actually got is money you could get by being outside as a beggar on a busy street in any major city in the USA for about 3 hours. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's get into the article to see what it says. Let's get into the pictures and whatnot. So it may kind of jog your memory if you don't quite know what's happening here. And the article reads, a college student from Chicago is now admitting a viral story she tweeted about getting kicked out of her house for supporting Trump, which led to some Trump supporters donating money to her, was all a lie. In late October, the student named Kuran, that's an interesting name, tweeted a selfie in which she's wearing a red Make America Great Again bucket hat. So not quite this, but you'll see it in a moment. The picture is right there. We'll get to it. She captioned the image, "I will not hide any longer. The left has made us feel as if black Republicans should hide, but not anymore." She included the hashtags. She included hashtags like hashtag Blacks for Trump and MAGA. Now, this is the young girl right there. Now, I've seen this picture all over the place, and I'm seeing articles about it talking about, oh, she finessed. That's the new word in Black America for fraud, which is what this is. Because when you go online and you get money from people, if you go anywhere, if you go online, offline, and you get money from individuals under false pretenses, that is called fraud. You could go to jail for that. We'll get to that in a moment. But you see the young lady wearing a MAGA hat, and you see her Twitter handle, Reform Republican, and you see the aforementioned caption. And even under this here, still, it has 24,000 likes and about 10,500 responses. So I could say that's pretty much viral on Twitter. Her tweet went viral, and Trump supporters tweeted their approval. "Well done," someone wrote, adding hashtags, "build the wall, lock them up, drain the deep state, and walk away." Over the next few days, Kuran tweeted updates. She claimed her parents saw her public political proclamations and financially cut her off. She said they would no longer be paying her tuition. "If you could find it in your hearts to help this young black Republican pay for school, it would be appreciated," she asked, linking to a now deleted GoFundMe campaign for herself. And we'll get to the GoFundMe and why they cut it off and everything else in a moment. On November the 1st, Kuran tweeted that things were getting worse and worse at home. She attached a screenshot of text conversation that she claimed was between her and her mom, saying her mom kicked her out of the house for her newfound political affiliations. And you see some of the back and forth right here. "Now I'm getting kicked out. My mom woke me out of my sleep and screamed at me. How could you support this monster? She doesn't even know him, so how can she say he's a monster?" I wish they understand. And here is some of the alleged tweets back and forth. See if you can pull this up. You can read it right here. "Mom, please, where can I go? This, that, and the third. I can't afford to live on my own. Maybe one of these Trumpies that love you so much can take you in." I mean, like this right here, if I seen this, because, you know, I didn't pay any attention. So you can see the tweets. And if you really want to read this and just go through this whole thing, look at this. Her mom called her a coon. Really? Is that what we're going to do? This is crazy, but let's go ahead and get back to the article. Even though quote unquote MAGA supporters tried to rally both emotional and financial support for her, Kuran also attracted a lot of people online who could only muster an eye roll at her situation. I mean, what did you honestly expect? Someone tweeted. Fortunately, or deeply unfortunately, if you're a MAGA Republican, whatever that is, I mean, I guess that's something that BuzzFeed News, which is where I'm at right now, obviously, you see the logo up here. I guess that's what they call us, guys and girls that wear their hats and like Trump. If a MAGA Republican donated to her campaign, the entire story and sequence of events was faked. So, more tweets. When reached, Karan admitted to BuzzFeed News over Twitter DM that she made up the entire event, including the screenshotted text with her mom. Oh, you don't say. She stated that she doesn't really support Trump and that she couldn't act like I support Trump genuinely. I'm doing nothing but watching the reaction from both sides, she said. In an interview with New York Magazine, and you see how far this has gone. This some random girl online pretending, and then you got BuzzFeed hitting you up, New York Magazine, all kind of stuff. Now you've gone viral all for the wrong reasons. And you're a young girl. This is going to follow you for a long time. I don't think people should just, engage in this whole culture in the black community or this little subculture of finessing. That's what they call it. Rather than they calling it fraud, they call it finessing. Like, you're going to go do something or be a part of something or take something from somebody under false pretenses. You want to call it a finesse, but for real, you can get locked up for that. That's not anything you could just trifle with. It's almost the equivalent of selling drugs, in my humble opinion. You're being dishonest and you're getting money for it. You can't do that. But let's get back to the article. In an interview with New York Magazine, Karan said she simply decided to capitalize off of all the recent efforts by Republicans to shed the reputation that they're mostly racist. A lot of Republicans had this idea that everyone thinks Republicans are mostly racist, and they're really desperate to get that stigma off of them. She said, I just felt like capitalizing on that. Now, let's pause right here because I've seen this repeated, not just from this young girl here, but in other places I've seen this repeated. The thing is, people always attack the right for not doing any kind of outreach to the black community. That's a constant thing I hear. But then when it's done or when it's attempted, it's rebuffed. Talking about, we know you're racist. Don't even try it. Don't come in here. We're going to beat you up. We're going to kill you, all this and that. So it's very difficult for the right to communicate with the black community. So when the black community is responsive in a positive way, the right is overjoyed because they're really trying to get through, but there's so many obstacles and it seems almost hopeless at some points. So any kind of inroad is seen as great. But you trying to use that for nefarious purposes. It's really a shame. Back to the article. If you're wondering if her sob story on GoFundMe campaign actually raised funds, the answer is yes, but not in a large sum. Some outlets are falsely reporting. Now, here's the raw story. They say woman pretends to be persecuted Trump supporter and scams conservatives out of 150 grand. That is not true. She did not raise that much money. We're going to get to it here. Karan told New York Magazine she's giving back the money donated to her, which she estimated to be around $200. 200 whole big ones. Look, like I said from the beginning, you can go out in any mid-sized city in a major intersection or in a decent intersection. You can go out by the mall, wherever you live, if it has decent traffic, hold a coffee cup and get $200 in a day or less. In New York, you can get way more than that. It depends upon where you are and how desperate you look. And if you're a new person out there, you can get that money. That ain't no problem. So you got these media outlets talking about, this 6-figure sum she got from tricking Republicans and MAGA conservatives, all this, that, and the third. She didn't get hardly any money. But let's keep going. Raw story wrongly reported off of rumors spreading on Twitter that her campaign had raised 150 grand. Quote, I just felt really weird about taking their money, unquote, Karan said. This could go south really fast. I just decided to refund everyone and give their money back. I think it was maybe like $200 at that point. Now, what I heard is that GoFundMe refunded the money, but let's keep going. Bobby Whithorn, a spokesperson for GoFundMe, told BuzzFeed News that only 4 people donated to the campaign and the total was only $97. So it went from 6 figures, like a rich person, their whole salary for a year or right around that, to $200 to less than $100. I mean, that's no money at all. You can spend that in a night in a restaurant. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? $100? And all the money went back to the people that donated it. I don't know if she got any money in her own pocket because she could have pocketed some of that money before GoFundMe refunded it to the people that donated. Because as far as I know, in GoFundMe, you could take the money out at any time. It doesn't have to be at a particular time when the campaign ends. You could take it out whenever you want. I'm not sure if she was able to get the money out before they refunded it or what. But either way, she's in trouble because you're engaging in fraud here. They had to give the money back to people. That's gonna not be that won't look too well for you. And if she's an adult, that's gonna be even worse. But let's keep going. He confirmed all 4 donors have been refunded. GoFundMe has also decided to ban Karan's account. After the campaign was launched, it was reported to our trust and safety team. The campaign was reviewed and removed from the platform. Wilthorn said, the platform is backed by the GoFundMe guarantee, which means all donors are protected by a refund policy if misuse occurs. Still, after Karan publicly admitted to the troll, she's now getting praise for securing that MAGA bag. What bag did she secure? $100, and you didn't even really get that? You probably couldn't even take out all the money. I mean, like I said, you can go work, you can go beg outside and get that money. That's nothing. Here's a tweet from somebody. The girl who started a GoFundMe pretending to be a Black Trump supporter abandoned by her family really hit the lick of the century. Snatch that MAGA bag. To be honest, the lick of the century is $100. People get fooled by anything. You're commending her for fooling people, but you got fooled by people talking about you securing a bag. Ain't no bag. I continue. There are the people who support me for being a Black Trump supporter. There are people who are asking me why. And then there's the other people who saw obviously it was a troll. She told New York Magazine. She said she wasn't planning on actually taking anyone's money and that her only goal was to sell herself as the finesse queen. See, didn't I say that at the beginning? This is a part of Black culture that people don't really understand, which is why, again, I talk about we need to have this YBLS, the Young Black Leadership Summit, and Black Center events, because there are certain things that people just don't understand that don't live in the community. Most people read that and have no idea what it means. The finesse queen, what is that? Finesse, like I said, is slang term for fraud. It's been made kind of a cool thing. Oh, I'm going to finesse. I'm going to just, that's called fraud. You can't go to jail for that. And this might happen here. We'll see. Quote, I just honestly didn't want to take their money. Yeah, I can't pay for school, but I don't want Republican money to pay for it. She said, I just want everyone to think I'm the finesse queen, which I am. Okay, that is a wrap for that. Yeah, so this is the whole thing here. Look, I don't have much more to say, honestly. I think that this is pretty much, I think everything that needed to be said was said in the article, and I've said all that needed to be said. So what say you? Do you think that this kind of makes people that are Black and conservative look bad? Because there are so many allegations of us not really being real, of us just being kind of a fake thing, you know, because so many of us vote Democrat. If you come out as being a Black Trump supporter or a Black conservative, you got to be trying to finesse, you got to fake and all this and that. Or is it just a matter of this particular individual and her stupidity, you know, going online and engaging in fraud and calling it finesse? How do you feel about people that engage in fraud in general? This ain't just a thing that is relegated to Black Trump supporters, people that pretend to be Black Trump supporters. This goes everywhere, all across the board. Like I said, I don't give to charity. I think Red Cross, a lot of these other so-called NGOs, a lot of them are fraudulent. A lot of them are covers for other things. Just like what was happening in Haiti after the earthquake. You had these so-called Christian groups coming up, rounding up kids, you know, talking about, oh, we're going to give them to we'll give them a better life. But really what they were doing is taking them to some kind of hotel in the Dominican Republic to sell them as slaves. All right. This is a thing that happens all the time. So it's not cool to be engaging in fraud. It's not cool to be pretending to be somebody that you're not. I think we all should just be ourselves. That is what I advocate for everybody. I don't care what you are. You could be left, right, center, gay, straight, whatever you are, just be yourself. As long as you don't interfere with my personal beliefs and my space, I say go for it. Do what you want. Don't break no laws, and we'll be just fine. So whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.